This is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. Go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube. Subscribe and share the channel so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. Sorry about that. So I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, here on Calhoun Street, and I checked in. And if I get a little choked up, people, just excuse me. Kind of emotional, but you know how I do. So I'm here on Calhoun Street here. This is a big church, and I checked in with my sister Melody because she used to live here in Charleston, and I told her where I was at, and she said, "Bruh, do you know that you're right where the church is, where they that man went into the church and killed those people, our ancestors?" I said, "No, I didn't know that. I knew it was in Charleston, but I didn't know where it was." She said, "Yeah, you're right there. You should go by there." So I'm here just paying homage and remembering you know, what happened on that fateful day with the ancestors there. And this is it. We're on Calhoun Street in Charleston, South Carolina, and this is called Mother of Emmanuel Church. This is where it happened. I don't know if you can see the street sign there. I don't know if I can zoom in. I'm not too technical savvy. Yeah, you can see it there. So it's talking about the Memorial District. But as we know, I'm just getting a shot of it. As we know, this is where it all went down. A couple years ago, this demon goes into this church. Now, y'all know it's normally viewer discretion is advised when you tune into the Hour of Power of Brother Shareef. But I'm in front of a place of worship. It's a Sunday, so I'm gonna be nice today. I'm gonna try to behave myself, not use no bad language. But y'all know when I'm kicking knowledge, it's with the intent of, you know, educating our people. But I promise I'll behave today. But anyway, I'm at the church where this demon went in and killed 9 innocent people about 2 years ago here in Charleston, South Carolina. So this is where it's at, and it's called Mother of Emmanuel AME Church. And it talks about how this church is the oldest AME, Methodist Episcopal Church, I think, in the country. It has the memorial here. I'm gonna try to go up to it and see what it says. Yes, you can see it here. The oldest African American Methodist Episcopal AME Church in the South. Emmanuel AME Church was organized as Hempstead Free African Church in 1818 by Reverend Morris Brown. After seeding from the Methodist Church, Charlestonians organized 3 churches that were named collectively by the Bethel Circuit. Reverend Brown and other African American ministers then sought to have Hempstead Free African American Church affiliated with Reverend Richard Allen. I'm very familiar with him because he did a lot of things in Philly there, close to where I'm from, an African church movement in Philadelphia. There you go. In 1865, Bethel Circuit acquired the present site on Boundary Street, now Calhoun Street, and constructed a wooden church under the direction its minister, Richard Harvey Kane. The church was renamed Emmanuel, meaning the God with us. Emmanuel AME Church is the oldest African American congregation south of Baltimore. So there you go. So again, I'm at a historical Mother of Emmanuel Church where this demon went into church and ambushed 9 innocent people there. I wish I could get closer, but you know, they have it blocked off. And big ups to my sister Melody for letting me know. I didn't even know. I thought I was like on a different part of town or something. And she said, "Bro, you're right there." And actually, my hotel is right across the street there, the Marriott. I'm literally right across the street. And my beautiful sister Melody, who used to live here in Charleston, she's now in Georgia. She let me know that I was literally at the site of where that horrific incident happened a couple years ago here in Charleston, where Dylan Roof went into the church while they were having Bible study and ambushed 9 innocent people. May they rest in peace. May they rest in peace. They were just trying to serve God the way they know, and it's a sick individual to do something like that. This is a beautiful place of worship, and it's so big there. And I'm on Calhoun Street, so if anyone is ever in the area and wants to visit this historical site, it was already a historical site anyway, but hate for them to make history with something like this. So, hey, how you doing, bro? I didn't realize, and thanks again, sis, for letting me know about this, because I thought where I was at was totally different from where this happened. I mean, it's literally people walking by here now, and you can tell by the way they are looking that they know this is a special place, not just because of that incident, but that just kind of adds, adds to the history they already had. But Richard Allen from Philadelphia, since I study Black history a lot, he had, how you doing, bro? He had a lot of history there with opening the AME there outside of Germantown in Philadelphia. They used to make him preach, and he was in slavery with his brother, and him and his brother taught each other how to read. I'm talking about Richard Allen, who is the founder of the AME Church, if I'm not mistaken. And they used to have him in slavery back in the 1700s. And I just saw one of the ministers just walk in. He said he didn't want to be on camera. But yeah, so this is a very special place. Richard Allen was in slavery there in the 1700s. I don't know the exact year. I have it in my history book. And in slavery, him and his brother taught each other how to read. I'm just keep on getting a shot of this beautiful place. And okay, someone's asking me to zoom in. I'm trying to. Richard Allen was in slavery there. Trying to. It won't let me go any. It's such a big place, so I'm up there. There we go. So it's very tall there. The Richard Allen was in slavery with his brother, and his brother and himself taught each other how to read. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
All right. And they taught each other how to read. Some of the slave masters was impressed with his knowledge, and they would give him the basement to have worship. The basement with spiders and stuff in it. Taught himself how to read. Taught himself the word. And eventually he opened the AME Church during those turbulent times there in Germantown outside of Philly. And from there we have the AME Church. So that's Richard Allen, and for those who are Christian, follow the Christian faith, and are into your history at the same time, you definitely want to look up Richard Allen out of Germantown, Philadelphia, the things that he went through just to worship. Just to worship. Again, they put him in the basement with spiders and stuff, and the man wasn't even allowed to worship like normal people do. And they put him in the basement, spiders, rats, and all kind of stuff. And as you can see, people are coming by and paying homage to this historical place. Look at them. These are Europeans coming by. They know the history here. They know what happened here. People are walking by, paying their respects to this beautiful and historical place. But definitely look up Richard Allen, what he had to go through. Again, he was in slavery in the 1700s. Him and his brother taught each other how to read, and was put in a basement. And that's what he had to settle for, just to be able to have normal church service. So first he only had 25, 50 members. They said he couldn't have any more of that because they knew the power of him. And then eventually he went to Baltimore, I guess, to get his license to preach. And then he came back to Philadelphia and opened up the first AME church outside of Germantown. That's Richard Allen. and it's more history, but I'm just going off the top of my head. But even with me being a Muslim, Richard Allen was always one of my favorite people in black history because of what he had to go through just to worship. And even before he got to the point of being a minister, he was very brave, him and his brother teaching each other how to read and write so he could worship and preach the word of God the way he knew it. Doesn't really matter his doctrine. He wanted to do what was right the way he understood it at that time. And from here, you could see this is one of the oldest AME churches in the south of Baltimore, and it tells you right here. Yep, I showed it again. The oldest African-American Episcopal AME church in the south, Emmanuel AME, at the site of where Dylan Roof came and ambushed them poor people. I'm just at a loss of words. Like I said, usually I say viewer discretion is advised, but I'm gonna be nice today, even though it's not a nice occasion. What he did to those people is absolutely horrific. It's inhumane, and may they rest in peace. Now I believe, because this is the oldest AME church, you know, they stand up and speak out from the rest. I believe he deliberately picked his church. How convenient would it be that he picked the oldest AME church? He shouldn't have did it anywhere, but it's awful strange that he picked a church of this amount of historical, you know, precedence behind it. This is what he picked to ambush the people. I'm trying to get as much. And again, we're on Calhoun Street in Charleston, South Carolina. There's a street sign there. It talks about, yeah, there it is. Mother of Emmanuel. So always remember that if you're in the area. It's a beautiful facility. No matter what your faith is, beauty is beauty. And I'm just honored to be here. And thank you again, sis, for letting me know. I would have never knew, because I'm not familiar with Charleston. I've been through here. I went to Spartanburg, South Carolina last year. I stopped through there, and I actually did some gang intervention in Spartanburg, but that's nowhere near Charleston. So I would have never knew that I was literally at the site of where that happened. And this was a historical place even before that. That just kind of put it on the map with that incident. But again, it's 110 Calhoun Street in Charleston, South Carolina. It's right downtown. If you ever are in this area. And again, it's people walking all up and down this street because it is downtown, paying homage and respect to this place of worship. So I wonder if I can get this brother to say something. How you doing, brother? All right. Excuse me, sir. Could you tell me, I'm from out of town, could you tell me a little bit about, a little history about your place here?
This church, this edifice,
you mind if I put you on? I'm on Facebook.
I can give you the audio, okay?
Okay. Yeah, so you're one of the ministers?
No, this is trustee.
Yeah, so I'm talking to a trustee, but he don't want to be on camera. That's
yeah,
fine.
I know, dude. Camera. But this church dates back to 1891. This edifice is 1891. The first church on this site was built in 1872.
Okay.
That church was destroyed by the earthquake of 1886.
Okay.
And then rebuilt in 1891. Still has the original floors, original pews, the stained glass windows, the 3 chandeliers, all part of the 1891 church.
Okay.
There's a massive pipe organ in the church that was purchased for some $800 and dedicated in 1908.
Wow. And
that organ now, we play it every Sunday, but it's insured for about $2.5 million.
Wow.
The organ? The organ itself. There are 2 murals in the front of the church, the crucifixion